So in this video, we're going to give you the latest update on my Invisalign progress and Joe Ellen's Byte progress. So stay tuned. Hello, Joe.
Hello, Joe. It's been a minute.
I know, we have not been on the couch in a while. Everything's been out in the world. So we're going to give you the latest update. My update is probably a little better than Joe Ellen's. More progress.
He's finished.
I'm finished.
I'm not. I was supposed to be 6 months. He was supposed to be a year. So I'm 4 months shy of 2 years. Still not done.
Right. So since mine's going to be easy, I'm just going to give you mine real quick and let you know what happened. And then she can explain all that's happening with her. We've had so many people reach out. It's funny because I think this is maybe the only product review video series we have done.
Yeah.
Right? And we're just, our channel is pretty much about traveling and getting out as older people and seeing the world and having fun. So doing this product review was it was a unique experience because we were both doing something completely different. So again, I did Invisalign. I started out with my first bag with 20 aligners in it, and each one had to be swapped out every 2 weeks. So part of the Invisalign package is that every 6 weeks I would go back to my dentist.
Yeah.
And he would look and see if the progress was right. And I'd come in with my last set in my mouth. We would pop them out, put one of the next series in to make sure that everything was progressing as planned. And then I would leave with the next small set until 6 weeks later when I would come back in. So the advantage of Invisalign is you're literally doing a physical visit with the dentist every 6 weeks, or at least my dentist was every 6 weeks. Maybe some dentists do every 4, I don't know. But that's the good thing is you're being monitored fairly closely every 6 weeks, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so you weren't given 20 in the beginning, like when you held up the bag.
Correct, sorry. They portion them out because there's no point in me having them all if 6 weeks later something doesn't look right, then they would go back to the drawing board. So after all of those 20 aligners happened, I went back in and he said, well, what do you think and what else would you want? And I had this one canine that you'll notice in the previous videos I talked about was really turned, I think I said 180 degrees when I looked at one of the last videos. And so it took a lot to get it to where it is, but he mentioned that over time, as you're older, the bone and the actual tendon in there can fuse. And so there's only so much movement it can do, and then it just stops. So if it's attached to the bone and the bone's not moving then the tendon can't do what it needs to do. So I went back in and said, okay, let's try to move it a little bit more after the original 20 aligners. And I also said I wanted to see if we could push a little further more on my upper teeth to push them in a little bit more. And so they did impressions. Then I got my second set, and those would be 14 aligners. And again, he portioned them out, giving me 6 weeks at a time. And so I have now completed both my original and then my revision set. So I'm done. And now I have a nighttime retainer that I wear just to keep everything in place.
And what was really cool, you told me probably even the aligners system may have changed, because how did they fit you for your retainer?
Yeah, so the cool thing is now my office has this electronic wand that they put in your mouth, and it's basically taking a digital image of your teeth.
Like a 3D.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's a 3D image, and he just goes around your mouth with this computerized wand, and eventually when it's all done, they have a 3D image of your entire inside of your mouth, and they send that off. And that's how I got my retainer created. But up until that point, everything was done with that
like
big,
silly putty like I do.
Correct.
Yeah.
So at this point, I'm done. There's nothing more that I can do. So I'm overall happy. I don't think unless I become a billionaire, I'll get, what are they called?
Veneers?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so that's it. So now it's the Joe Ellen show.
And I'm not going to talk as much as I did last time. But I do have notes. So I went onto my email today, and I was looking at like when my first delivery happened, when I would then need a refinement, I guess is what you call it, and what that time process looks like. So I would say for me, going on almost 2 years with Byte, there are a lot of downfalls to not having a human person interacting and seeing your progress along the way. I think from the beginning I said I thought Byte was new. They were doing things a little slowly, a little strangely. And over time, there are ways now that I can call them, I think, or at least schedule a time or request a time. But progress happens really slowly. Before I even get into having teeth pulled, which is a whole other story, when I look at, for example, if I had them send me new molds to do another impression kit, for example, one of them they sent to me on September 7th of 2021. Kind of irrelevant, but by the time I actually got my new aligners back via FedEx, it was the 28th of September. So it's like 20 days where you're just wearing the same ones. And my system was supposed to be only wearing them for 10 hours every night, change them every week, and you're supposed to be done in 6 months. But anytime there's a question, so even I would venture to say that if I had an issue that would cause them to send me new impression kits on September 7th, chances are it was a full month prior to that of me saying something's wrong, because you email them, it takes them about 4 days to get back to you, and so on and so forth.
At one point you thought it was growing pains. You thought that they had actually gotten so popular so quick they didn't have enough staff to do it, but you would think by now they figured it out, and it's still sort of slow.
Yeah. So last year, so in March of 2022, earlier, I wound up with a toothache and had to have a tooth pulled, and I'm having an implant put in. So to proceed through all of that, I had to send dental records, etc., my x-rays, a letter from my dentist to them. Now fast forward to a month ago. So it is December of 2022. And last November or late October, I actually had to have another tooth, the same tooth. So 13 on one side, 4 on the other. 4 has been a problem sort of my whole life. It had root canals before. I think still had 13. I have bad teeth, genetically bad. The theory on both of these is because I grind my teeth a little bit with these aligners on at night, I've actually done this damage potentially to my teeth as well. So a typical example of Byte is that I sent them all of the dental information about this tooth being pulled last week, sent the letter from my dentist, sent all the things, and I got an email back about a week later saying, we didn't know that you had this tooth pulled. Can you send us all the dental information? And I did tell Joe, I sent an email to them, and I feel like I'm partially furious with a company. If everything is in my record, before somebody would write to me and say, can you send me your information about tooth 13? Why not look back in my record and see you already have it? So it sets me back having to do the digging. So we happen to like our dentist a lot. Joe's known it. We know him personally. So when I was in the chair on Wednesday, I went to have my teeth cleaned. And of course, he's anxious to get me my implants done. So now my $2,000 bargain Byte has turned into like an extra $10,000 for 2 implants. It's becoming a little bit of a nightmare for me. But he's appreciative of how much I share with him about my experience. Even right from the beginning, he wanted me to do Invisalign also, but I realized I had already paid for my Byte, and so we decided let's just go this route. So I think he's learned a lot as well. It helps him be able to guide his patients, and in hindsight, would I have probably spent the extra $2,000 for Invisalign and to just have monitored treatment? Without a doubt. I also know that I have issues with my teeth. So I think if maybe somebody's younger or they have otherwise teeth that have not had root canals and all of these other things, you probably would have been a better candidate for that. But here I am, still waiting on some kind of an email. Oh, here's another side thing. You do check-ins with Byte. They have an app now. The app, the website, and something else. They don't even talk to each other. So if I log into the app like I did today, and the app's a whole other thing. They want you to do your check-in on the app. To do your check-in on the app, they tell you, take this picture, and you have to line your teeth up with this thing on the picture on the phone, but you can only use the front-facing camera. And if you have to do like this part of your mouth or this part of your mouth, your eyes can't see where the camera is aiming. It's the worst design ever.
It's actually funny to watch. Like as a
Yeah.
outside, I'm just going, what is going on over there?
Yeah. I mean, I don't have a phone with me, but if I have to take a picture like that, I can't see. So I'll have to say, can you look and see if I'm lined up with the camera? I actually did take a screenshot of it today. But when you check in on the app, I did today, it said something like, you haven't checked in 4 months or 5. I don't remember what it said because I just delete the app from my phone all the time. And then when you log in to the website, it always says, are you ready for your retainers? It's like, why don't you know I'm not ready for my retainers? So there's a really tiny little banner up at the top that it'll say, time for your check-in, and you check in. So I checked in today. I was supposed to check in yesterday, but because I do it on the computer, it's like I have to then go over, sit down. I actually did it from my phone today. Right. It's just been a complex situation, and I wish they'd get it together.
So I think the moral of the story is that if you have very slight changes that need to occur, that you want to change in your smile and your teeth and their straightening and whatever it is, and you have fairly good teeth and not a lot of issues, not no root canals and pulling of teeth and all of that stuff, we definitely saw progress. Like
my teeth have straightened a lot.
Definitely straightened, but that's the only circumstance that it'll work, because she really, we needed to swap this. Like I could have done probably Byte and it would have been okay. This one canine would have been a real bear for me to get done with Byte.
I just feel like it's a wing and a prayer, and every now and then I'll send something in and they'll say, oh, go back 6 weeks or something and start over again.
Yeah.
I am in my bottoms. There's no more progress from my bottoms. And I have been in my last bottom aligner, but I think for 18 weeks. So for 18 weeks, I'm just wearing the same bottom one, which is going to wear out while they still continue to try and get my tops.
Right. And you're
finished.
wearing them just so that you won't go backwards.
Right. You can't, right. Yeah, you can't take them off.
You got to, until you get a retainer, you don't want to have nothing in your mouth. So
yeah. When he said something about veneers, it was because at the dentist the other day, my dentist actually said to me, why don't you just give up on that and we just do some nice veneers and you'll have straight white teeth on the top anyway. And I was like, why didn't you tell me this 2 years ago?
Yeah. And
so I didn't know it was an option.
Earlier or whatever.
2 plus 2 filling
right.
pulls.
So if you have the money, get Invisalign. If you have really good teeth and you don't have a lot of money, get Byte. If you have problems with your teeth,
if
do
you want
Invisalign.
holes in your head, get Byte.
So we hope this was helpful. We really appreciate everybody reaching out. We've had so many requests for this follow-up.
So
listening.
I feel, because he has asked me a bunch of times, we have to do another follow-up, and people are asking, and I appreciate that. And at the same time, when you're sitting there on my side of it, if you will, or on this side, the progress feels slow. So I feel like I have nothing to report. But I guess there is value in all of that. And the fact that now we're stopping everything until I'm finished with my aligners.
All right. So thank you guys. We really appreciate you reaching out. We love the comments. We love everybody inquiring about this. Please watch our travel videos. This is what we really want to do, is motivate everyone that is our age and above to get out and live life and travel. And younger. Yeah. We're not the 6-pack ripped, full head of hair couple. But we love you guys. Thanks so much for watching. If you got any value out of this video, please hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel and turn on that bell for the notifications so the next time we release one of our cool travel videos, which we have an entire 33-day trip from Europe that we took. So those are coming out soon. Thanks again. Happy holidays. We love you guys.